from this list and from this collection interfaces, we will be having different kinds of classes that are implemented from these interfaces. Now we have to see one by one specific classes from the collection interface and how to use and how to implement the applications using those specific collection classes. And
see the list interface. The list interface contain different kinds of objects, and we will see the properties of how the list interface and the classes from the list interface, the internal organization and the internal structure of how the objects are to be organized into the list interface. Okay, see the first point here. The list interface generally holds different kinds of objects with duplicate elements acceptable by the list. Okay, and the insertion order is also preserved. So the insertion order preserved nothing but the way how you are inserting the elements or inserting the objects into the list, that order is not at all changed, and you maintain the same order in which you have inserted into the list object. And the programmer can specify the specific location where the object has to be inserted into the list. Okay, and by giving the position, we can access the specific kind of object that is existed from the given position itself. And the very important point, the collection interface can be augmented. The list collection interface can be augmented. Augmented nothing but, suppose you are inserting n number of objects into the list collection object. It is automatic growable object. Automatic growable object nothing but, so even the list of elements or the list of objects, when you insert into the list, whenever it becomes full, then automatically the JDK will to get more number of to get n number of objects again into the list. Okay, so whenever it is going to be, so then the JDK will increase the capacity of the list so that it can accept another set of objects to be inserted into the list box. Into the list object. So that is a object. It's a collection, one of the important property of the collection framework objects. And see that the list is, so as the list interface came from the collection interface, as we have already so as we have already seen the list of methods from the collection interface, and the list interface is a subclass of interface, so that all the methods of collection interface will be added into the list, and also it has its own exclusive methods also be there. Okay, so we have already seen the list of methods available in the collection interface. See that. So here these are the list of collection interface methods. Size is empty, contains all, add all, remove all, clear, to array, iterator. So all these methods have been discussed in the previous class. Along with these collection methods, so the list is also having its own exclusive methods. Okay, and these are the different kinds of methods available in the list: get of index, set of index object, add of index object, and remove of index. Add all of index, another collection object, and index of object, last index of object, sublist from index and to index. We will see each and every method how it will be used. Suppose if you take first method, get method, this get method will get an object from the specified index. If you give 2, so then from the second index, whatever the object is there, that object will be written back. And the second method, set of index object, it will set the new object into the specified index. And third method, add, similar to the set method, it will add a new object into the specified index. At remove of index, it will remove the existing object from the specified index of the list. We have to see the difference between set and add also. The add method will add new object into the specified index. Suppose if the specified index contains an old object, that will be forwarded to the next coming locations, and it will empty that add method will empty that specific location, and then new object will be inserted. But whereas a set method will override the old object with the new object if the specified index is having already holds already an object. That is the difference between set and add. We'll see later how set and add method will be in programs. Okay, add all method. Suppose if you give another collection object, so the collection the contents of the collection object will be added into the specified index. Okay, add all of the existing given collection object into the specified index. And the next one, index of object. So suppose if the given object is existed in the array list, then it will give the location where exactly the object is existed. And the last index of, similar to the index of, the last index of nothing but it will search from the last position to the first position itself. If it contains the specified object, so then it returns us a specified location where our object is located. And the sublist. Okay, so if you want to extract sub part of the list, so then we can use a sublist of two indices we have to provide, from index and to index. From the first index to into a separate list and returns that separate list by
your voice is not
sublist method. It's not audible.
Now it is audible, sir.
Okay. And so here, as list is interface, so we'll be having two different kinds of classes implement from the interface. One is array list and another one is a linked list. So as you already know about these two kinds of data structures in your second year syllabus, array list and linked list. Array list class, internally it will use ordered of array, simple array. Whereas linked list class, internally it uses a linked list data structure to hold the list of objects here. Okay, so and we will be having same advantages and disadvantages how array is, linked list is. Okay, and the implementation, as per the implementation procedure, we will see how these methods will get an advantage in both array list and linked list. See that the get of n. Suppose if you call get of n using array list or linked list. Okay, get of n as a specific object from the nth location. It takes order of 1 unit of time. Whereas in the linked list, if you call get of n, it will take order of n units of. Okay. So why order of 1? Why order of n? So that will be there in the discussion of arrays and linked list. Okay. So if you in case of array, if you so then it will go to the specific index and returns that object from the index, so that it will take only order of 1 unit of time. But whereas in the linked list, if you call get of n, so then it will transfer the first index to the specified index, so that that will take order of n units of time. Whereas insertion operation, if you see, insertion operation it takes around order of n units of time, because in the array list it takes order of n units of time when insertion operation is going to be performed. So because here when you do insertion operation in the specific location, so then first of all that index has to be emptied. Then after getting empty location, so then it will insert that object. Okay, for getting that location empty, so that the list of, the existing element in the specific index has to be moved forward to the next location. Okay, this will be continued to all the list of elements until the last location, so that that specific location will be emptied. Okay, and then the insertion will be happened. Okay, so that it will take around order of n units of time to insert into the array list. Whereas in the linked list, only we are doing some sort of pointer manipulations to get insertion of a new element into the linked list. So that for pointer manipulations, it will take around the order of 1 unit of time to do insertion operation in the linked list. So that every object is having, every collection object is having its own advantages and disadvantages based on how, for what purpose and the context. Depending on the context, we have to use either ArrayList or linked list. So that ArrayList and linked list, how we have to create the object from the ArrayList as well as linked list. So we are having 3 different types of constructors from the ArrayList. The first constructor is ArrayList with empty elements and ArrayList of initial capacity. So as we already discussed, it is automatic growable, auto growable object, so that we can create ArrayList object with some initial capacity. Suppose ArrayList of 10. Okay, then it will create ArrayList object with 10 locations, 10 empty locations. Okay, it's not exactly the meaning that, so it is having only the capacity of holding 10 objects. After getting 10 objects filled up, then automatically it will add, it will increase the size of the ArrayList automatically. Okay, and the third constructor is ArrayList of collection. So we will create ArrayList from the existing collection object. It may be existing collection object, may be a linked list or hash table or queue. So whatever the collection you are having existing in your application, so then we can create a new ArrayList object from that existing collection object. So using these 3 collections, these 3 constructors, we can able to create the object from the linked list. Where here in the linked list also we'll be having the similar kinds of constructors: linked list empty constructor, linked list initial capacity, linked list collection object. Okay, and see that the list of methods available in the linked list. Okay, so as you already know, we can have the method, we can have the operations in the linked list. We can insert the elements in the first location, we can insert the elements in the last location, we can insert the elements into the middle location, and we can remove the element from the first location, we can remove the elements from the last location. So similar the kind of how we are manipulating the linked list, for each and every kind of manipulation there will be having a corresponding method available in the linked list. Like suppose if you take add first, it will add the given object into the first location, and take add last, it will add the new object into the last location. Suppose if you call get first, so then it will get first object, get last will get last object, remove first, it will remove the first object from the linked list, remove last, it will remove the last location value from the linked list. Like this, the way how you are doing manipulations in the linked list will be having corresponding methods available in the linked list class itself. Okay, and see the example for linked list and ArrayList, how we are creating and how we are doing manipulations using the methods of linked list. Okay, and creating one linked list object LL with the integer specific. Okay, so that the LL object holds only integer objects. Okay, like I am adding some sort of integer values into the LL object. So using LL dot add of 10, LL dot add of 11. So because 10 and 11 are scalar values, since it is a collection framework, it doesn't hold scalar values. It has to hold only objects. So that these scalar values have to be converted into the object representation. So that all these kinds of scalar values will be having specific kind of wrapper class available in JDK, so that integer values if you want to insert, so then for the integer values we will be having the wrapper class called integer, INTEGER, I capital. Okay, so create the object of integer from 10 and create the object of integer from another number, and store that integer object into collection framework. So here in case of our example, linked list. So ll dot add of new integer of 10. Now the 10 is converted into the integer object, and that integer object is going to be added into linked list object. And the second one is take 11. So 11 is integer, so that convert that 11 into the proper object that is called as integer object, and that integer object with the representation of 11 is going to be added into ll linked list. Okay, and say that add last of 13. So it will add 13 object into the last position, and the integer 20 added into the first position. Okay, so then totally 4 different kinds of values we are going to we have inserted into ll object. Now the contents for the linked list is 20, 10, 11, 13, because here add first of 20 is called, so that 20 is inserted into the inserted as a first location, and 13 is added as a last location. So the 13 by calling the add last, so that the 13 is there at the last location. In between 20 and 13 we'll be having remaining numbers like 10 and 11. Okay, so as we already discussed, the insertion order for the list is preserved. Okay, so the way how we are inserting the, in which order we are inserting the values, the same order it has to maintain in the list. Okay, so 10 and 11 we are using the order of 10 and 11, insertion order of 10 and 11, so that the same 10 and 11 order is preserved in the linked list. And see this another example here. Okay, and we are using ArrayList here with the car object. Okay, so that ArrayList holds only car objects, but with the initial capacity is 20. So it holds at a time 20 different types of objects. It's not exactly the meaning it holds only 20. So suppose if you try to insert a 21st object, so it will accept the 21st object also by automatically growing the size of the array list automatically. So here a garage dot set of 0, 1, 2, 3. First one I am inserting new car object into the 0th location. Electric car into the first location, since electric car is a subclass of car, so that we can store electric car also, because it is a car, into the list object. Okay, and the third one also electric car, so we are storing into garage, and car is also storing into as a third position into the list. And one iteration is done, I is less than garage.size. Garage.size returns us how many number of objects are there, so that will return. So here currently total 4 number of objects. Okay, so that garage.size returns us 4. So I less than 4, I plus plus. And every time I am getting the object from the specified position I, garage.get of I. So first one I is 0, so that I becomes 0, so get of 0, so the 0th location value will store into the C, and using this C object we are turning on the car. Okay, by calling the specific method from the car object, C dot turn on, like this. Okay, so this is the way how we are going to use our own defined objects into the list. Okay, and by using this linked list and array list, so we will go to Eclipse, do experiments using Eclipse for array list and as well as linked list also. Okay, so as I already given a demonstration on Eclipse, that demonstration has already been imported, uploaded into a YouTube channel, so that and the same link also shared in the Google Classroom. So please, okay, so please go through the Google Classroom and download the video for Eclipse demonstration. So you can see how to use Eclipse for implementation of Java programs. So here I'm creating a new project, collections demo project, and under this I have created one package, list package, and under this I have created one class ArrayList demo.java. Okay. I'm adding main method also into this class. Inside this main method, first of all, I am creating ArrayList object. I am going to use this ArrayList object to hold string values. So that generic class string, ArrayList string, stList equal to new ArrayList of string. I am creating object of ArrayList which holds only string objects. So that I am using the statement like ArrayList string stList equal to new ArrayList string. So initially it doesn't have any elements into the stList object, okay, but it shows the error. Okay, so for showing the error, to know the error, so there will be having a bulb corresponding to this line. If you go to this bulb, then it will show you the error description. ArrayList cannot be resolved to a type because, as we know, collections framework are there in the util package, so that we need to import util package into the programs or applications wherever if we want to use the different types of collection classes, so that we need to import util package. For importing the util package, no need to go to the import statements and writing import statement there. So there will be having a facility in Eclipse to add the import statement automatically. If we click on this balloon symbol, then it shows the import statement automatically for the ArrayList. Import ArrayList java.util. Okay, so that just selects this import statement and press enter, then automatically import statement will be added correspondingly. Okay, so then error will be gone. So this is the way how to add import statements automatically. Okay, so step by step I am going. First one, I am adding some string objects into the ArrayList. So stList dot, how to add? So just use add method. Add of. Okay, I am storing some names here. stList dot add of comma and stList dot add of. And again stList dot add of. And again I'm adding some more list of objects. I'm going to store list of names into the ArrayList stList. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 names I have added into stList object. Okay, using add method. Okay, so Rama is stored into the 0th location, and first location Sita, second location Lakshmana, and third location Bhavana, fourth location Venkat, and fifth location Bharat. So like this automatically, one by one, it will add the string objects into the stList ArrayList. Okay, so here just I am printing list directly. Use list snort.println. Okay, let me run this example program. Okay, with this statements. Yeah, so I got output like so here. So as the list object holds insertion order, so that the way how we are inserting the list of elements, the same order it maintains. Okay, so these are the orders, order of how we have add the list of names into the ST list. Okay, and then so I'm printing size of the array list. Size of the array list. Okay. Size of the array list is 6. So here it shows a list of objects, and then it shows the size of the list for the array list object. Okay. So currently total number of elements in the array list is 6. Okay, like this. And see that adding, we have to see the difference between adding and setting the objects into the list. Okay. So as I have already added some list of elements. Okay. I am adding another list of elements again by showing the difference between add and set. Okay, so I'm adding second position into the second position, insert the new name. I'm printing that new name, ST list new name. Okay, so that what happens here. Suppose the third location value. Into the third location, I'm adding a new name. New name with stylist printing here. Yeah, so getting this one. So here already 0, 1, 2, 3. Third location, so we have Lakshmana value. When you call set method with the third location, new name is inserted. So then this Lakshmana value is overwritten because in the third location already the object is existed. That existed object will be overwritten with the new name. So that the old object value should be overwritten with the new name or new object when you do set operation. So that ensure ensure that while using add method and set method, so we have to get know the difference between add and set, and whether the existing object has to be overwritten with a new object or not. So that's you have to see if overwritten needs, so then use set method. So if existing value should be preserved, so then we have to use add method. So this is a simple difference between add and set method. While using add and set method, be careful, some sort of loss will be happened in the set method. Then see the next concept, index and getting the specific index values here. Suppose I'm calling strlist dot index of suppose I need the index position for the Rama object, Rama string object. Okay, so here yeah, so index of Rama index of Rama, if you see, so then we'll get where exactly our Rama object is located. So index of Rama is located at the 0th location. Okay. Suppose if I am writing I need to know the location of XYZ in the array list. Okay. Suppose if I am using the statement like stylist dot index of XYZ, then see what happens here. How it prints index of value with non-existence objects in the array list. So here index of XYZ is -1. Suppose if the specified object is not there in the array list, then returns as -1. If the object specified object is existed, so then returns as the location, specific location where the given object is there in the array list. Okay, and then suppose I wanted to get object from 4th location. So how to get 4th location value? Simply call object stylist dot get of 4. So 4th location value will be returned and stored into the str object, and the str object if you print, so then we will get 4th location value here. Yeah, 4th location value is Bhavana. So here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4th location value is Bhavana. So like this individually we can get the values. Okay, and the next one is here contains method. Contains method. So here I am calling the contains method with stylist object. So stylist dot contains of, suppose I need to know whether Sita string is there in the stylist. Yeah, okay. We will get true. Nothing but Sita object is existed in the array list. So that we will get a true, will return true the contains method if the object is existed. Suppose if the object is not existed, so then we will get false. Yeah, we get false here. So because XYZ is not there in the ST list. Okay. And we can remove the existing values from the array list. Okay. List dot remove second location value. Second location value will be removed. Suppose there is another chance also. List dot remove of, okay, new name. Already new name is there. Okay. I am removing second position value irrespective of what object is there in the second location. So that second location value will be removed. And suppose if you call the remove method with string values, then if this given string object is there in the array list, so then this corresponding object will be removed from the ST list. Okay, so we can give either location or the index of the specific object to be removed, or you can directly give what object you need to remove from the array list object. So this is the way, two different ways we can call remove method. Let me run this program. Rama Sita set name So here second location value. Second location value is 0, 1, 2. New name will be removed. Already new name is also be removed, so that yeah. We got false from the remove of new name, because in the second location there is an object called new name that has already been removed from the array list, and again you are trying to remove the object which is not existed. Suppose if the object which is not existed, you are trying to remove from the array list, so then we'll get false value. Suppose if the object is successfully removed, we'll get true value. Suppose if it is not successfully removed, because the object, since the object is not existed, so then we'll get a false value. Okay, so like this we can use a remove function also. Okay, and see that iterating the list. Okay, so here we will be having a for syntax is there for specific to collection. So like suppose st list. So this is a simple shortcut way to use for loop. String s colon st list. Okay, suppose use this statement. So then from st list, in order the object will be come from the st list and store that object into s. Every time the next object will be come and that object will be stored into s, and that s we can use here inside the loop statement. Okay, so this is the way we can use for loop syntax in a shortcut manner for collection framework here. And sorting the list. Okay, so generally we can do our own logic for doing the sorting operation on the list of elements or the list of string values using arrays concept. But here when we are doing ArrayList kind of collection framework, so then we can able to do the sort operation by simply call a simple method collections dot sort. Collections dot sort method with collection object here. st list I am passing here. So then this st list, all the objects inside the st list will be sorted trivially using sort methods, sort method of collections interface. So here collections is an interface. From this collections interface, there is a method called sort to sort the list of objects that are there in the given collection object here. So then it will automatically sort. See whether it is getting sorted or not. Yeah. So already the objects inside the st list have been sorted. So Bhavana, Rama, Sita. Yeah. So Bharat, set name, Venkat. Because these are all small letters, and first letter is here capital letter. Okay, so just I am changing that first letter as capital. Then you get that. Yeah. So all the objects have been sorted. Okay. So by using simple method called collections dot sort. Collections dot sort of st list. Okay. So this is the way we can do